You're wasting your money if you don't get your meats at Restaurant Depot. I got this 15-pound case of oxtails.
You can regrow celery in water.
One of the best ways to save money is actually to buy your meat in bulk. Half a pig to one whole pig and half a cow every 10 months or so.
All right, so produce, fruit, especially, when you buy it in these things, tends to go bad. I'm gonna teach you a trick.
When you get your flour, if you get flour, sugar, and all that stuff on sale, you need to put it in your fridge.
With groceries being as expensive as they are, many people are like, what is the best way I can make my dollar stretch? And don't worry, you are in the right place. Here are tips you can use when you're grocery shopping and after to save money, not only on your groceries, but your food.
So you want to buy half a cow? I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. One of the best ways to save money is actually to buy your meat in bulk. Our family goes through about half a pig to one whole pig and half a cow every 10 months or so. If you've been looking into buying half a cow or even a whole or a quarter and you're not sure how much space it's actually going to take up, this video is probably going to be for you. Oftentimes people won't take the organs and people won't take the soup bones. This is also beef suet. That's what's going to be used for me to render tallow. Here are the soup bones though. Take a look at how much meat is on every single soup bone. These are given to you at no extra cost when you buy half a cow. So when you turn them down, you're literally turning down all that meat. You can make beef bone broth. You can make not only the bone broth for stews for winter, but also have the meat from those bones to make your stew as well. One of the most overwhelming things is organizing all the meat once you bring it in from the butcher.
And I was trying to get to the meat and potatoes of it all, literally, and figure out how much did this cow cost her? Because I know I ain't the only one that was wondering. So it says here, she got 110 pounds of ground beef. Oh my. 20 pounds of chuck roast, 30 pounds of other roast, including the brisket and the eye. Oh, she got a brisket? 66 pounds of steak. 14 pounds of beef cubes, 10 pounds of ribs, beef ribs by the way, 26 pounds of bones, soup, bones, oxtail, and organs, and 30 pounds of beef tallow. Now she said she probably is missing something there, but that's about the gist. And she said the whole half a cow cost her $1,835, and it weighed 367 pounds at the hanging weight. And that included the stuff like the weight cost, the butchering, and the packaging. And she goes on to say, of the actual product, it turns out to be around $6.11 per pound for quality local beef. Now, I need to know something. Would y'all, after seeing this video, find you a local butcher and buy a half a cow? Or would you buy a whole cow? Sorry to all the vegans out there. I know this one ain't for you, but I know it's a lot of households that eat a lot of beef. I won't lie, this will be right up my alley because I feel like it's probably fresher than going to the grocery store. And at least I know it's a real cow, because if you know, you know. Now this comment here says, we bought a whole cow with our tax return. It came out to be $4.80 per pound, and seriously couldn't get hamburger that price here. And the creator of this video goes on to say, once you start buying meat like this, you can't go back. The quality difference is crazy. I need to see for myself because I'm curious and I want somebody to make me a believer because I'm open-minded, not to everything, but to this right here. Another comment here says, recently bought a quarter of a cow. You know what? That's a smart idea. Maybe some of us should start small. And they go on to say, I'm so glad I did. We'll never go back to store-bought beef. You know what? I want to see. And I know a lot of people like to do stuff like make their own beef tallow. I know that was real popular. I want to say last year, maybe even this year. Look like they got everything they need right there. And y'all, this is a lot of meat. Now, if you got a larger family, I think this amount of food can last a very long time. But one thing I also really appreciate about this is the way that it's packaged up. It looks vacuum sealed. A lot of the time when we go to the grocery store, you know how you get the stuff that's already grinded up and they package it up in the meat department? A lot of the time they don't even seal it right. I've had things become freezer burnt because of the way I got it from the store. Or it could even be something as small as while you were putting it up, maybe you put a hole in it or something, or it was leaking. That airtight seal, that's what keeps the quality there. I've even been thinking about getting a little something for my vegetables for whenever I freeze them. So I appreciate the fact that the butcher took the time to vacuum seal all of this stuff so the customer can get the most out of their investment. And I also like the fact that some of these people are using their tax money to buy quality produce instead of blowing it on something crazy. The only thing you really have to worry about is if the power goes out. But if you have a generator, you might be okay. Pro tip, if you have a deep freezer, get the generator if you can. Otherwise, I know a lot of people do insurance claims in the event that the power goes out and they have all this meat. Or you could cook it all for everybody on your block if the power go out. They just gonna be happy. They gonna be like, dang, we got a good neighbor.
Hey, so you're putting your flour and your rice and your sugar, your dry beans, you're putting them in the fridge, right?
Right.
After you buy them from the store?
Freezer.
Are you not doing that? Are you not? There are these things called Weevils. I don't know if you've heard about these. They're terrifying. I had them in our first apartment. I didn't know that you're supposed to put your flour in the fridge or your freezer, and we got Weevils, and it still haunts me to this day. I still have nightmares. So you don't want Weevils to wake up in your stuff. They're just there. Like, it's nothing that you can like completely prevent by buying it from a different store and blah blah blah. You can't. They just live in the things that we buy. So when you get your flour, if you get flour, sugar, and all that stuff on sale, you need to put it in your fridge.
I have had a weevil infestation. I had to take everything out the pantry. Come to find out, it was from a bag of rice. A bag of rice. I didn't know what weevils were. Never seen them. They're like these little tiny black bugs, and they're pesky and annoying, so hard to get rid of. And the only way I could get rid of the infestation was to throw away all of the grain. Anything that wasn't like canned or jarred, any cereal, noodles, rice, oatmeal. They were even in the oatmeal, y'all. Grits thrown away over an infested bag of rice. This is serious business we talking about here. After this lady video was the video I seen that let me know what I was dealing with. And I've been freezing my rice ever since. And shout out to her because she was the one with the lettuce hack. Ma'am, thank you for your service to the community, to the world, because I simply didn't know.
For 48 hours. I was gonna say 24, but 48. Let's just say 48. 36 if you're feeling froggy. I always have flour in my fridge. And then I replenish. I have flour sitting on the counter. I replenish from the flour in the fridge. This is how terrified I am of Weevils. I always just keep it in the fridge. I keep sugar in there too. And you just leave the sugar out, and I refill my sugar on the side too. The rice goes in the freezer after I buy it. Once it's been in there for the 48 to 36 hours, you can take it out and then store it however you want to store it. You can put it in a Tupperware under your bed, wherever you want to put it. You got to kill them Weevils first.
Yeah.
Please, I just don't want that to happen to you. And it sometimes keeps me up at night thinking about people who may not know that you need to put your flour, your sugar, your rice, your dried beans, yes, those two, and you gotta put them in the fridge for a bit. Kill the Weevils.
I was one of them. Oh.
I have to replenish flour, so I was thinking about that. Thinking about you. So please do that. I don't want you to have Weevils. Okay.
And when I tell y'all, she is so awesome for this video, I don't want y'all to have to waste money either. Because do you know how hurt I was to have to throw away everything in the pantry? Everything? Nothing left. I had to go out again, reshop for all my stash. Do you know how long it takes to effectively build up a pantry when you're really about that life? I was hurt about it, and I couldn't take no risk. I didn't even care if I didn't see a weevil in a piece of grain. Everything had to go. This woman here is saying, at this point, I'm eating Weevils, LOL, extra protein. Oh my gosh. Girl, it's not too late to get rid of the infestation. But the first step is acknowledging you got a problem. This woman here is saying, ma'am, I buy 40 pounds of bags of rice. How am I going to get that in my freezer? And this is what happened to me. I buy in bulk. That's how the Weevils got me. If you got a deep freezer, I don't care if you got to clear it out and make some space. Put that bag in the freezer. Time now. This is not a drill. I am warning you guys. This lady here is saying, as a Caribbean, we use bay leaves to prevent this. Bay leaves in the flour is also good too. And if you've ever experienced Weevils, comment down below if you have experienced Weevils too. And mind you, I've been going through life for decades as an adult. I didn't experience a Weevil until my early 30s. I was like, what is this? I called my mom like, you ain't never tell me about this. Like, these things exist. Never had a clue.
It's me. I only spend $300 a month on groceries to feed a family of 4, and I only go grocery shopping once a month. My top question is, how do you get produce to last a full month? Let's talk about it. First and foremost, ordered eating. If you put things in a mental note of how quickly it's going to perish, You can see on it that strawberries and berries, those things would be considered the most perishable item because they go bad the quickest.
Yeah.
Towards the end of your list would be things like apples and oranges because they have a longer life. So if you eat in a specific order, you can have a full month of fresh produce. If you want to shop weekly, that's fine. But if you want to learn how to store stuff, let's talk about it. There are so many tips, so I'm going to rapid fire you. You can regrow celery in water. Bananas do well hanging in a dark space. Potatoes also like to be in a dark space, but make sure your potatoes are nowhere near onions because onions release ethylene and it will sprout your potatoes. Things that are really good on the counter: cantaloupe, plantains, pineapple, butternut squash. The darker the butt on a butternut squash, the longer it's been off the vine. So if it has a dark butt, use that one first. Onions and garlic can go together, but not with potatoes. Apples, oranges, and avocados do well in the fridge. If you buy really green avocados and keep them in the fridge, take them out 1 to 2 days before you need them and you're good to go. Berries are one of the only things that I wash when I get home. I wash with baking soda and water. Do not do baking soda and vinegar because those are opposites and they will neutralize each other, and that makes no sense. So either vinegar or baking soda. And I clean them, dry them, and I put them in a mason jar. You can use a paper towel. I just don't like single-use items, so you could also use a cloth. When you're going through your berries, make sure to take out any soft ones because it will rot the whole bunch. Green onions, just like celery, do well in water, and then when you cut them, they will regrow. Change the water every couple of days. You want it clear and not yellow. Things like peppers, cucumbers, lettuce. I do not wash any of those things until I'm ready to use it because the extra moisture is going to rot it faster. You can also regrow romaine lettuce in water. When in doubt, when you don't know what to do with something, freeze it.
A lot of good tips in this video. One that I know for sure works is the green onion trick. That's one of my favorites. It's really easy to do, and you'd be surprised how fast those green onions start to regrow. And we also learned from the last video that 1 apple will do very well with a bunch of potatoes. Now, she covered a lot of good stuff here, but one of the things that I personally like to cook with and use a lot is herbs. That was the thing for me that was often going bad. Not because I'm not using it, it's probably because I forgot about it until I got an herb storage container. And this is my first time reacting to my own video. And actually, this is my herb keeper. As you can see, ain't much to it but to do it. Put a little bit of water in there. As you can see, then I got some thyme, mint. These are my favorites, y'all. And then you can put in some cilantro. I put in some rosemary in there. And I actually did put cilantro in there too. But if you have parsley or anything like that, you can put it in there. And it keeps your herbs fresh. Now, this is for my folks that like to use herbs in our dishes. If you keep it in that little pack right there that the grocery store gives you, it ain't probably gonna last very long. This, no lie, was keeping my herbs fresh. Honestly, for about a month. I could still use the same herbs. That's if I didn't cook with it already. Now, do I think you need to get you something like this? I don't think you have to, actually. I think you might be okay if you put it in a little bit of water and stick that thing in the refrigerator, because that's essentially what was happening here. There's water at the bottom, it's standing up straight, it's just getting that moisture and nutrients and staying alive and hydrated because there's water. And if y'all got one of these, let me know. This is honestly one of my favorite things to use in the kitchen. And I don't talk about products much because I know people is on a budget, so I really mean it.
All right, so produce, fruit, especially when you buy it in these things, tends to go bad a little quicker. So I'm gonna teach you a trick that my mother taught me. Mason jar, paper towel. So mason jar creates an airtight seal which keeps oxygen away from the fruit, which stops them from molding, and the paper towel will collect any excess moisture on the fruit, which will stop it from getting soft. So first step, actually, I already washed these, but wash them, and then you're gonna wanna drop them in, but be really careful, right? Because strawberries are soft, and you don't wanna bruise them before you even get the chance to let them not get bruised and gross. Grapes are next. It's just possible sometimes I'll like hold the side like this and then drop them in.
Grapes.
Kind of readjust the paper towel as I go. So now you got this, and then boom, this should sort of keep everything a little fresher, a little longer, and it's pretty and it's cool. And just do this.
I never seen anybody put grapes in a mason jar, so I wonder, does that help with keeping it fresh and not like shriveling up? You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like grapes be turning into raisins. This definitely looks like a great hack. And I noticed something. It almost seems like as long as you put something in a mason jar with a paper towel, napkin, and it's dry, that is the thing that makes everything last longer. Because even with the lettuce hack, there was paper towel at the bottom or even at the top to absorb the moisture. So I'm wondering, is that the thing that keeps all of it? Is that the hack? Use paper towel in a mason jar. And I had somebody ask in the last video, does it work well with spinach? I can't confirm nor deny, but my assumption is maybe, because everything else seems to work fine as long as you put the paper towel in the mason jar and it's sealed airtight. Oh my gosh, and not y'all being thirsty in the comments. What is going on? I thought we was here to learn about fruits and preservation. Lord have mercy. Let me move on. Okay, so there has been a whole discourse on TikTok about the Costco Business Center, and this being like the true hack for those of y'all who ain't quite ready to get you a cow, to be hitting up the local butcher, but you don't want to go to the regular grocery store. They say this hack right here saves money. I need to see what's going on.
I finally joined the bandwagon, and y'all, the Costco Business Center is my new personality. I walked in just to browse and walked out feeling like I beat the system, because I grabbed 10 pounds of ground beef for $38, an entire case of bone-in chicken thighs for $30, 5 pounds of chicken breast for $23, 5 pounds of breakfast sausage for $14, 4 pounds of bacon for $15, and 5 dozen eggs for $9. Tell me that's not insane grocery savings. And because I'm extra, I'm showing y'all how I divided everything into 1 pound portions so it's freezer ready, organized, and stress-free. And listen, I have a little secret. Groupon has an amazing deal on the first year membership, so don't say I never told you anything. You're welcome.
Well, ma'am, this was a lot of food. I'm actually impressed. Somebody here said, wait till you find out about Restaurant Depot. I need to look into that. And another comment here says, please keep in mind, before you get the Costco membership, there's only 10 business centers in the country. Ah, that's key information, but maybe you live by one. A regular Costco does not have this. All right, y'all, it's time to check the map. Get on Google. And Groupon, is that you talking about? Love this. We sent you a little gift in your DM. Okay. I love a good hustler. And this is the question I know a lot of people are thinking. Do you have to be a business owner? She replies, nope. I think she got a great amount of meat. But what I would add is maybe vacuum sealing this up, because you want to protect your investment. Like, she got a great deal on all that chicken, all the stuff she got. It's not going to matter if it don't stay safe and gets freezer burnt. And I say this as somebody who has freezer burnt a lot of meat. Now, I ain't never bought this amount of meat before, but if I did, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get it all vacuum sealed, because I ain't got time to be in there rolling all the air out with my hands, because that's what we doing right now. Got to stay down till you come up. But if you can afford to get the groceries, I definitely think that this is a great investment. And because y'all was just talking about the Restaurant Depot hat, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. We gonna see what this man is talking about, because he look like he got some good meat here too.
You're wasting your money if you don't get your meats at Restaurant Depot. I got this 15-pound case of oxtails for $100. And people think that you need to own a business or something to shop there. You literally don't. Just go there and ask for a day pass, and you can get probably some of the best deals you can find on meat. Especially for those more expensive cuts, stop playing around and go to Restaurant Depot. Like, these are huge.
Now, this is a lot of meat. And I know oxtails and stuff like that can be extremely expensive, but the comments are what's really getting me. This comment here says, I went to the Restaurant Depot in Baltimore and I got 15 cases of oxtail for $45. They said, nope, you can get a day pass and it's free. You only need your ID. Now, I can't confirm nor deny, but they're saying it's not a secret. And it must be true, because people are saying here, y'all don't gatekeep anything, and that's why the prices keep going up. And I understand, but I'm trying to help. Stuff is high. At this point, don't hide it, divide it. Because this lady right here gets it. She says, thank you for not gatekeeping. It's literally families that are trying to stock their freezers while they can afford to avoid hard times. That's the whole point of this video. Now, it was a lot of back and forth online about whether and is Restaurant Depot free. Well, I'm on their website and this is what it says. You will need to present your business license or your IRS letter to show that you are the owner of your business or nonprofit. Now, what businesses qualify, I'm not exactly sure, but you would need your EIN number, your business license, or any of the documentation for your nonprofit business. Now, who's to say who can't go and who can? But it don't hurt to apply, right? Now, I know a lot of y'all are like, Simone, I don't own a business. How's this helpful to me? Well, it says here in the black and white, don't qualify for membership, get access to most of our items on Instacart. That's you right there. That might be you. Might be able to get something for the cheap, for the low.
Literally just flavor dust. Let's make brown gravy. 3 cups of all-purpose flour,
3 quarter cup beef bouillon, 2 tablespoons of garlic, 2 tablespoons of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, and 2 teaspoons of paprika. Now we're gonna mix it all together.
Okay. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Oh, okay. Feed your family and save money. So she's putting it in the mason jar.
And you're ready to use this to make your gravy. You're gonna need about 2 tablespoons of this, about 2 tablespoons of some dripping. So the juices from the meat that you're cooking. If you don't have that, you need some kind of fat. Butter, Crisco. I typically use butter if I don't have drippings. It's not going to be as dark as a traditional packet brown gravy mix, but I like to let those fat and the powder cook together for a little while until it darkens.
Right.
And then I add in a cup of water. Some people add in a cup of milk. I don't think it really matters. And then you let those cook up until it thickens.
I have never tried to make gravy like this. The way I've always made gravy is, you cook a meat. First off, you need some onions, some bell peppers, all of that. Maybe even some fresh garlic, your herb in the pot first, sauteed in a little bit of oil, okay? Generally speaking, if you have some meat, if you had the meat in there with it, all I ever had to do was make me a little slurry. What is a slurry, you may ask? That is flour and water. You could even do flour or better than bouillon, whatever type you got for whatever type of produce you're cooking. For example, if you're cooking chicken, you would do water, flour, better than bouillon. Whisk it up and make your slurry. Add it to your sauteed onions and that meat. Same goes for beef. You just use beef, better than bouillon. And the reason I'm saying better than bouillon is because if you know, you know. That right there, once you have that better than bouillon, I'm telling you, you're not gonna wanna use the cubes no more. It don't even taste as good. It's not as flavorful. But this right here seems also like a great hack, especially for a lot of people who are trying to throw some gravy together on the go. This prevents you from having to go get them cans. I might have to try this one out just to see, but it didn't look bad to me.
Once a month, my husband and I will go to Costco. We'll get our vegetables for the entire month. I'm going to show you how I make my fresh vegetables last for the whole month. 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts, a 1-pound container of baby spinach. First things first, we need to give these all a really good wash. Freezer bags are always going to be your best friend. I'm going to take one and then I'll write what the vegetable is. So we're going to do green beans first. You also want to make sure you write the date. Literally just take your bag. We don't measure mine per se. I kind of eyeball it. I know how much 2 servings is going to be because obviously most days I feed just my husband and I. So we're able to make this stretch. So for example, this is one standard dinner for us, but I also have nights where we'll have people over. So I like to also make sure I'm doing a few bags that have enough to feed 4 to 6 people. This bag is about how many I would do if I was going to feed a bigger crowd. And when I tell you all the bags,
and y'all see how she's like pressing in, trying to get that air out? You want to do that to the best of your abilities if you don't have like a food vacuum to avoid the freezer burn. I even take mine and I be trying to roll it to get the air out because I ain't trying to take no chances.
the best thing to do is to freeze literally everything. We have Costco membership, and so we do buy in bulk. So we have a Sam's Club, so you could also like shop between the two, see which one has the better price. So basically, they sell like these big bags of cheese in bulk. What I'll do is I'll divide them up. So we had one bag that was this size in the fridge, and it lasted us a month and a half. So we just ran out. So this morning, I took this bag out of the freezer. It's thawing, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge once it's done thawing. And now we had cheese for this month. So we have both a Colby Jack blend and we have a mozzarella blend. And so we didn't have to buy a new shredded cheese this month, which was really nice.
And you know what? You can also do it with the block yourself. You can get your food processor, shred that cheese like how I showed y'all in the last video. My cheese frozen. It was block cheese. I take it out whenever I'm finna use some cheese because Lord knows I probably shouldn't be eating much cheese because I'm probably lactose intolerant. But anyway, when I am in the mood, I go to that freezer and I got my frozen cheese pre-rolled, pre-shredded, and it tastes just fine. And that's the real hack for a lot of y'all who put the cheese in the refrigerator and then you forget about it, but you like cheese on like spaghetti or something like that every now and then. Get that block, put it in some little small Ziploc bags. I got like 10 of them right now, portion size, just for me. And whenever you need it, go to your stash. I'm telling you.
Also, I'll do the same thing with my meat. So this is some meat I took out this morning. This was actually a pack of like 25 drumsticks. I divided these up and I got about 6 dinners out of these. So this is the last of those and I'm gonna cook them up for dinner to get everything bagged up. So let's see what we have for the month.
So I had 3 bags of spinach, 3 bags of Brussels sprouts, 4 bags of broccoli, and then 3 bags of green beans. So what I'll do is like every 1 or 2 days, we'll have a fresh veggie out of the freezer. And then between those days, I will pick a vegetable from the pantry because we always make sure our pantry is stocked. So this is what our pantry looks like. As you can see, we have a lot of canned goods that are like 35 cents, 20 cents. I love the Great Value stuff because usually their canned goods are like 75 cents. A lot of our local grocery stores will literally have like a clearance aisle with canned goods that are less than 50 cents. Whenever my mom's out and she sees those, she'll stock up for us, or whenever I'm out and I see those, I'll stock up for us. That has helped so much with keeping the cost down, so much. Now I just need to put all of these away. Okay, those are put away, and this is what the top 2 shelves of our freezer looks like.
She did a great job. I would say if you're gonna go get the canned foods, make sure you're checking the expiration dates. I know a lot of people just be grabbing the cans. Always check the expiration dates on all the food. I know a lot of y'all go in there, your husband be trying to rush you, his feet hurt, he tired. Check for bruising on the vegetables, on the fruits, check for mold. You would be surprised the stuff you catch if you just look at the stuff you grabbing at the grocery store. I have picked up old turkey bacon. I don't know how nobody else caught it. Sometimes the meat be expanding. It be looking all bubbled up in the packaging. If you're not paying attention, you gonna get got. When y'all go in the grocery store, take your time because they will let you go to the cash register and pay for lackluster, unquality food, and they won't bat an eye. And especially pay attention if you're gonna be doing stuff like this, because what is the point of doing stuff like this if you freezing a bunch of moldy old vegetables? That's not the move. And I don't want to see none of y'all wasting money or time. And I need to know what y'all think about all this down below. What hacks from this video or the last video do you see yourself using to save yourself money on groceries? Also, please drop your best grocery hacks or whatever you do to save money on food and make your food last. But we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.